Good evening, everybody. Healthy Living Live. I am so excited to be here. There we go. We are so excited to be here tonight. We have our special guest tonight from Healthy West Orange, two of my favorite people to work with. We have Heather, who you guys have seen probably with me at the farmer's market. We've done some cooking together on the grill and had some fun. And we have Lesa tonight, who is the COO for Healthy West Orange. And she is a great avid home cook, really talented in the kitchen. And we're going to cook up some, what are we making tonight?
Sheet pan fajitas.
Sheet pan fajitas. We're going to pop that recipe up for you if you want to see what the ingredients are. If you're cooking along with us, this is a great opportunity to get yourself together. This is a great recipe, right? You can have this as a great family-friendly, quick, easy.
Done in 30 minutes.
Done in 30, 40 minutes maybe.
Yep.
We're going to also make some guacamole while it's in the oven cooking. And we'll talk about our cooking styles, things we like to do in the kitchen. Heather is here to learn.
Yeah.
Heather has got lots and lots of questions. So she's here to learn tonight.
Take
and of
notes.
course, we have my wife behind the camera who will also help us. So we're going to get started. I'm going to start with slicing up the chicken. I'm going to show everybody how to butterfly a chicken breast. We're using skinless, boneless chicken breast. You could certainly use chicken thighs if you wanted to, but chicken breasts work really well with if you wanted to do steak. You could do shrimp. You can make this vegetarian or vegan. We can talk about all those things that we can put in there. But I'm going to start with the chicken. Lesa, why don't you start with some of the vegetables?
Perfect.
I already cut up some of the red peppers for us, just kind of sliced them up, but we'll give you this. So we got peppers and a red onion.
Perfect.
And we'll cut those up. We want all these pieces to kind of be the same sizes, right? So,
and we should bust out and say, if you are joining us live, ask questions. Tell us who you are,
Absolutely.
where you're from. Heather is going to be answering or asking as well. So as we're going
Absolutely.
through, she'll interrupt us if we're going too far.
Absolutely. So I'm using a boneless, skinless chicken breast here. I've already sliced some up. You can actually buy, the tenderloins already sliced up and ready to go if you wanted to. So another way of making this an easy dish. Of course, it's a little bit more expensive to do that, but depending on the time you have and what time you want to save. So skinless, boneless chicken breast. I'm just going to take a knife, a good sharp knife, and you want to lay your hand flat on top of it, just like this. And you kind of want to find the middle of it and very carefully down the center, right? We don't want to cut our hands, Heather.
This says Heather.
Shout out.
So we want to just go right down the center. And then we got a nice flat piece of chicken. And then I'm just going to cut these into little slices, just like this. You can make them bigger, smaller if you want, whatever you want to do. So we're going to just slice these up just like that. And this is looking good. So
Lesa, you
go ahead.
When you're cutting your chicken, because this is the other one, I don't butterfly. I will often just grab a rolling pin and just just beat it flat.
You can do that. You can do that too. You just put like some plastic wrap on top of it, right?
Exactly. And you just whack the heck out of it.
You can certainly do that if you wanted to.
I think I sometimes just like to get the
aggression out.
Yeah.
Right. You could definitely do that. I just like to do it. I like to butterfly it. It's just an easier way for me to do it. And we have dogs in the house, as you guys know.
Yeah, so pounding is probably not a good idea.
Just kind of like gets the dogs a little riled up. So we try not to do too much of that on the side.
One tip I'll give you on vegetables, particularly if you're doing peppers, anything with a smooth skin, if you cut the skin side, that's easier for your knife to slip. So put the fleshy side up and your knife has something to grip and it makes it much easier. So when you're doing tomatoes too, cut your first cut in and then don't cut it with the skin side up sometimes. That can be more difficult than the flesh side up. So anything that's got a smooth skin, that's just a little tip.
Absolutely.
Make your life easier.
That's a great little tip. I'm going to just put this stuff in the sink here.
And then these we want relatively, chunky, right?
We want them relatively chunky. We don't want
them super, super thin.
Right. We don't want them too thin. We want them a little on the chunky side. I'm going to start, we're also going to put some lime juice and lime zest in. So I'm going to kind of get the lime zested a little bit here.
Oh, fabulous.
And
Okay, so what tool are you using? Because
So this is just a zester. You can find these Target. You can find these anywhere online. They're not expensive, maybe about $10.
So I love those microplane styles, and you can also get them. My husband is a woodworker.
Yeah.
And so they
You can get these
you
in-
can get woodworking shops
Yep.
too. I mean, don't use back and forth, but I think that's where they started. I think
Yep.
chefs stole them from woodworkers.
Yeah, and they're
"Oh."
great. They're great. And I love everybody who watches us do this always hears me say, I love using the zest of any, of limes, lemons, oranges. They add so much extra flavor and
Yep.
bring it to another level.
And it smells so good.
And it does.
It
It smells
really
really good.
does.
So I'm just kind of getting the zest off of this. We also have our oven preheating to 425 degrees. So this is all going to go in the oven at 425 degrees. So we got the lemon zest ready, and we
I'm
got.
almost done with the peppers, and then I'll start the onion.
All right. And while you're doing that, we're going to talk about the spices that we're using.
Oh, yay. Okay.
So we have lots of spices today. And again, if you have any questions, pop your questions in, ask us questions, tell us where you're from. We'd love to hear where you're at. But today we have some chipotle pepper.
Mhm.
So that's got to be a little smoky and a little spicy. We have some garlic powder. We have some smoked paprika. We have some oregano
Mm.
and some chili powder and a little bit of cumin just to add a little bit of that extra spice to it.
I'm actually really excited that you're using all chili powders. And I'm going to say again, another tip is lots of people want to get mixed, like, oh, I'm going to get taco seasoning or I'm going to get something that's already done, but then you can't customize it yourself.
Right.
If you do this and you like it hot, like Heather and I were joking, Heather is not a hot person. So you could do more paprika, go a little less on the chili powder. If you're like me and you like it spicy, you could add cayenne, you could go heavier, so do it yourself. I'm a big proponent of making your own spice blends. And it's,
And this is so easy to do. And if you don't like the smoked paprika, you could use sweet paprika on this. You could use a little less garlic powder. You could use you don't even need to put the cumin in if you don't want to. You can really do a whole array. So and remember what I always teach people and what I love to tell people is, what are we trying to do? We're trying to give you the base of what to do. We're trying to give you a basic, right? Once you have the basic, use the flavors that you like, whatever you enjoy. Heather, what kind of spices do you like?
Well, I don't like super spicy things like Lisa said. So that was actually one of my questions is, which one of these would you leave out if you were making it for, say, picky kiddos or picky adults like me that doesn't like things too spicy?
I would probably cut down the amount of chipotle and the amount of chili.
Mhm.
I would probably just cut it down maybe in half instead of using the whole amount,
Because you
still want the
flavor,
flavor, right? So I would kind of cut it down in half a little bit and give you that nice little amount of flavor, but not going too crazy with it.
Are you planning on mixing them beforehand? So can you taste test it maybe as
You
you
can.
go? As you add it?
You could mix this together and taste test it beforehand. The oregano, what you want to do with the dried herbs like the oregano, which I already did, is you kind of want to rub it in your hands like that, because that's going to bring out a lot of those oils and those flavors, and that's going to help to really release and you can smell it when you do that. Yeah.
And I think the other one is cumin is actually not hot. Cumin is extremely aromatic.
Yes.
But people get nervous because they're like, oh, cumin's the spice. And because it smells strong, people think it's hot. There's no heat in cumin, but it's really aromatic. So some people love or hate cumin.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're done with these?
I'm done with the veggies.
Awesome.
Okay, and it looks like we have some questions here.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, yay.
All right. So Peter has a question. He says, hi, Chef Gary. What is your opinion on garlic salt? It's convenient, but as far as taste goes, does it really compare to real garlic?
I like garlic powder as opposed to the garlic salt. I think the garlic powder is not, the garlic salt is, I'd rather add, which we're going to do, I'd rather add my own salt to it. So I'd say go with the garlic powder instead of the garlic salt. And that's going to give you more of the garlicky flavor. I don't really feel like the garlic salt has a lot of flavor in it. You could certainly use real garlic if you wanted to and just kind of grate it. Again, you can use one of these and grate it. So it's perfect. But I'm using garlic powder. And we're going to add some salt and pepper to it. So I'm just going to put all of these spices in, just like that. And we're going to add in our chicken.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And that's what's so nice about these kind of one pan meals is that you don't have to like cook something and set it aside and cook something and set it aside. You can really just put it all together, season it all together, and then throw it all in the oven.
Exactly. We're going to add some salt. And right, you're doing it yourself, so you can control how much salt and how much pepper and everything else. So,
And it looks like a lot, but you've also got a lot of fajitas.
right, we have a lot of vegetables in there. And we're going to add grapeseed oil. Now, the recipe calls for extra virgin olive oil. The reason the recipe calls for extra virgin olive oil is because that's what most people will have in their home. Grapeseed oil, I love because it's neutral in flavor. You can't taste it. It doesn't give you that extra. So we're going to add a little bit of extra
And why do you
virgin.
need the oil on it?
It's just going to help the spices stick and coat, and it's going to help everything while it cooks. Okay. That lime zest that we just did right in there, and some lime juice. The lime juice is going to help bring out all that flavor. Get a little lime juice in there as well.
I know already. I'm like, yeah.
And you can start smelling it already,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
The
Yeah.
lime just boom kicks it all up.
So we got all that in there. I'm going to go ahead and toss this.
See, and this is why this is Chef Gary versus me, because I'm the person I would just be shoving my hands in there. I'm like, I would just be mixing it all up and rubbing it all in.
So truth be told, if we weren't on Facebook, that's exactly what I would be doing. But since we're trying to be neat and clean about it, yeah. But you can see it. I mean, it's really simple.
But you're Chef Gary for a reason. So when you're on Facebook Live, you got to do it with the tongs.
Right,
And
exactly.
he does also say,
Your best tool in the kitchen. What's the best tool in the kitchen? Your
Hands.
Your hands.
Your hands.
Yep.
Jasmine.
So-
Jasmine.
Yeah, so you can smell. Oh my gosh, this smells so good already, right? So that's all nicely coated. And then we're gonna we can grab that over
Yeah.
here.
Do you want me to bring it up?
Yeah.
You got it.
And let's go.
And I think the
ahead.
oven's already preheated.
Yep, that
Yeah.
one should be ready. And you know,
Yeah, you want me to hold
that.
this? Yes.
This got heavy, so
Yeah, that bowl's nice.
we're gonna get all these fajitas on this parchment. I have this lined with parchment paper.
Just makes it
Just
easier.
makes it easier for cleanup, of course, if the parchment paper stays on.
Yeah, it sounds damn.
Oops,
I
sorry.
got you.
Is that-
And one pro tip, if you are putting something under the broiler, be really careful. I have caught parchment paper on fire.
Yes, be very
Yes.
careful. Okay, so we're gonna try to get this into an even layer. I'm going to use my hands
Yeah.
since we had this discussion. I am going to use my hands now, and we're gonna get this into a nice, even layer.
But if cooking is love, it's like clean hands, warm heart,
Exactly.
good meal.
Exactly.
Right?
So we got that nice and flat
We've got another
and a
question.
nice even
Ooh,
layer.
what's the question?
Gabe asks, well, he says, that sounds delicious, looks delicious. Can I use foil instead of parchment paper? Speaking of
Absolutely.
catching things on fire, Lisa.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And use, they sell the nonstick
Yep.
foils. One side is nonstick. So I would go ahead and use a foil. Sure, no problem.
And
That's-
the other thing that I might do if you don't have nonstick is if you've got cooking spray, you might want to spray the foil and then put the stuff on it. Because even with the oil on these, the foil can stick a little bit more than parchment paper. Parchment won't stick at all.
100%.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to wash my hands since
Go
I
ahead and tell.
had the chicken there.
You.
And let's go ahead and pop this in the oven.
Okay, sounds good.
We're going to pop this in the
Okay,
oven.
I'll get that.
And that's not too overloaded. It's okay to be.
No, that's going to be great.
Okay.
We have a lot in there, so it might take a little more than 20 minutes, but we should be good. We're going to set a timer for 20 minutes. Oops.
So where's everybody from? We haven't heard the
Yeah.
the round table yet.
Let's take a look. Can I sit over here?
I saw a Brandon join
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
There we go.
earlier. Welcome.
So the next thing we're going to do. So I have to ask Lisa this question because we were talking before we started. Lisa's making her own tortillas. at home.
Yes.
And we're not making our own tortillas tonight. But my wife and I were actually talking about it. Betsy and I were talking about it the other day. So tell us about your homemade tortillas and how easy they are to make.
Well, I was shocked because I thought, oh, homemade tortillas are going to be really, really hard. But it's not. It's masa harina, so you can buy it in the grocery store. There's a couple of large brands, and it's that, and it's hot water, and it's a little salt, and then you set it in a bowl, you mix it up, and it makes a dough. What is tricky is when you make it the first couple times, you learn what feels wet enough or dry enough. But it sits for 30 minutes, and then you roll it into balls, and I use a Ziploc bag that I cut in half, and a pie plate. I have to stand upright because I don't have a tortilla press. So I've got like a little footstool, and then I just press them down, and then you get your nice flat tortilla. And then just a dry pan, a cast iron pan, and you flip it, set it on there, and it's about a minute per side. Once it starts bubbly and darkened, then you flip it over to the other side, and then it's done.
And it looks like we have a question from Angelica.
Well, Angelica is just saying that homemade tortillas sound amazing. So maybe the next recipe we do for fajitas, we'll have to try Lisa's method.
Yes.
That's great. Okay, so let's make some guacamole.
Yeah.
So we're going to do this real simple. It's just going to be tomato, white onion. You could use red onion, right? Some lime juice, avocado, obviously. And I'm using some chili peppers. You could put jalapeno in this. You could do whatever you wanted really to make this your own. And I actually I make avocado toast with the avocados, lime, and just these peppers. So, and a little bit of salt on top.
And if you are wanting to really cheat, you can just do jarred salsa and avocado to make guacamole really fast.
Absolutely.
If you don't want to chop, if it's a Tuesday night and you're like, I just want guac, you could do it fast. Although this way is better. And I still, even if I do use jarred salsa, I'll still use fresh lime.
Yeah.
Because the fresh citrus changes everything.
Yeah. And again, we're gonna zest that lime to get a lot of that flavor in there, right?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
How do you pick the perfect avocado at the grocery store? Because I can't seem to get it right.
So I like to buy the avocados. Betsy's actually the avocado person in our family.
She's the queen.
She's really
She's like the avocado whisperer.
But I really like to get them when they're a little on the firmer side and let them ripen in the house.
What coloring?
They'll be a little lighter in color than this, yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that it has the pit on it, right? And you can, if you feel it, it's nice and soft, right?
Yep.
You don't want to put your finger through it, but you want it nice and soft.
And we put it in the fridge for a couple of days.
We've had it in the fridge for a couple of days.
Fridge. And then are you able to say if you only use half of it, what do you do to keep the other half fresh?
Good question. So here's what you do. A little lemon juice or lime juice on the top of it.
Okay.
Saran wrap, but make sure you press the saran wrap onto it so that it doesn't get, some people say leave the seed in it. I don't know if that really works, but just press the saran wrap on top of it into an airtight container.
Okay.
Now, it may get a little brown, but that's okay. You can cut it off.
Okay.
All right. So remember, any of your fruits and vegetables.
So the other tip I've heard, I haven't tried it yet, is you take the entire half of the avocado and you put it in a jar with water. And then you put that in the fridge because
I've never heard that.
Because the water keeps the air from making it oxidize and turning brown.
There you go.
So if you're going to use
that's
it,
a great trick.
We're going to do a science experiment.
We could.
See which
it's
one.
been something I've wanted to do, although I never have leftover avocado. I don't have a problem eating a whole avocado. I'm always like, I'm eating the whole thing.
And anytime you have a fruit or a vegetable that has a little blemish in it or it gets a little brown, you can cut that away and you're good to go. So I'm going to teach you now how to cut the avocado. Okay. First thing you want to do is there's usually a pit on the end. You want to make sure you take that out. The reason we want to make sure we take that pit out is because we don't want the knife to slip. Okay. So your avocado flat on your board, slice down the middle, good sharp knife. And then we're going to just turn it like that.
And then voila.
Wow, look at that. That's a perfect one.
Now, here's the tricky part, right?
You use your hand.
The seed doesn't always come out.
Yeah.
So
and be careful.
Good sharp knife. Okay. This is where you need to be careful. Anybody who's not experienced in doing this. Okay. You want to get right into it and twist it, and it'll come right out. Okay.
And then you can let it dry out and plant it.
And then you can let it dry out and plant it if you want to. So I'm gonna have you dice up maybe a third of the onion or so.
Okay.
And I think you have a spoon over there.
Oh yeah, so you
So
want
I
to use
can-
it to.
Yeah, so I can kind of get.
So do you mash your avocado? Because I like to do the hash cuts and then spoon it out.
Yeah,
but-
I like to just kind of spoon it out first and then mash it.
Yeah.
So everybody has their own way of doing things, right? And neither way is right, neither way is wrong. So,
Well,
so-
I think you and I, when we were talking, I never seem to remember how I cut my peppers last time I cut them. So I kind of, every time I cut them slightly differently. Some people are religious about how they cut their peppers or how they cut their onions. I know the supposed correct way to chop an onion, but I don't do it the correct way all the time.
right. Yeah, and there are lots of different ways to
Mhm.
do your peppers. So
You just have to do it the safe way,
The
right?
safe
Exactly.
way.
Yes.
Sharp knife. Yep.
And I think that's why you don't do the hash marks too, right?
sometimes I do the hash marks. It just depends how I'm using the avocado.
Yeah.
But for something like this, I'm just throwing it into a bowl to mix it up. And
I can smell those fajitas.
I know they're already, you can smell
yeah,
them.
you can
They're
already start
going.
smelling them, huh? They're going to be good. So I have the avocado. I'm going to put some clove of garlic, and I'm just going to grate this clove of garlic. You can mince it, you can chop it, whatever you want. But I'm going to just grate this because I like to grate garlic for some reason. It just you get a lot of really good flavor out of it, and you get all those oils out of it.
Just
Of course,
don't
be
grate your
careful not to get your fingers caught in the grater there.
Well, and I think too, people don't like in general getting a chunk of garlic. That's the type of thing that will throw off a kid or someone who's a pickier eater. So if you grate it, it makes life a little bit nicer because you get that garlic flavor, and yet you don't have to worry about someone biting into a hunk of it.
Yeah, exactly. So again, we're going to also add some lime zest to this.
Ready for me to bring over some
Oh, yeah, come on.
onions?
Bring it on.
I'm coming over.
Bring it on. Yeah, that'll be good. There we go.
I've got just a little more. I realized I was like, oh, I'm doing half. Use it a third. So we might have a little extra.
Yeah, that's fine. A little extra onion never hurt anybody. So we got some lime zest. We'll get the juice of this lime in there as well. Probably the juice of 2 limes, I think, on this. And then we have tomato, maybe about half of this tomato. You can use a plum tomato. You can use little cherry tomatoes cut up, but just a nice little dice on that, Lisa.
You got it.
And we'll get the juice of this lime in. Do we have any other questions? Tell us where you're from. Say hello. I know you're out there. There's somebody. Here's Angelica again.
Watching from stormy Celebration, Florida. Oh man.
Oh man, are
Might
you
be
having
coming here next.
thunderstorms? Probably on its way over here to Winter Garden.
Yeah.
Gabe is watching from downtown Orlando.
Thank you both for joining us. Thanks to everybody else who's online tonight. We'd love to answer any questions you have. Is anybody cooking along with us? And I'm just throwing everything into the sink before we'll clean up later. How much more time we have? Oh, we only have 11 minutes left on our fajitas, and you can smell them. They're really coming.
And it's the spices, right? The spices and the oil you can kind of get, which is one of my favorite things about cooking. It's the methodical chopping and then the smells as it's coming along.
Oh yeah, there's nothing like the smells as the food is coming along.
Okay, tomatoes are done.
Okay, I think I gave you a fork over there too.
Yes, you need that for your mashing.
Yeah, let's we'll start mashing up these avocados here.
I'm bringing you
Nice.
tomatoes.
Nice. Look at these great colors too. You could add cilantro to this. I left cilantro when I forgot to pick up cilantro when I went grocery shopping. So
Okay, question is, who does it taste like soap to?
Yeah.
I love it, but it tastes like soap to me. But
Yeah.
I still love it. I don't know if I'm crazy.
I love cilantro. Don't think it tastes like soap, but many people do. So
That's looking good. That's looking
this
good.
is looking like good guacamole.
And how long does guac keep? Lisa would have no idea.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I don't ever have leftover guacamole.
I would say guacamole will keep a couple of days. Depends on how much you like it. Guacamole is so good. You can put it on anything, really. Let's talk a little bit about other things that you could do with this dish, right?
Okay.
So this is this is the basic, right? But what else could you do? What can you do for leftovers. So say you have leftovers, right? You could make a little bowl with.
I have one.
Go ahead.
Rice.
Yes.
Oh,
A
yeah.
rice bowl.
Yes, you could do a rice
Great
bowl
idea.
with this.
Yeah.
That would be great to do a rice bowl.
I love the day after. Particularly, I'm not a person who I want to eat the same thing every day. So chop up all of the pieces and then mix it into a frittata. Add some eggs.
That would be
New
great.
World, or the filling of an omelet, right?
I love that idea. So then, now you're taking your dinner and you're making it breakfast,
Breakfast.
which is perfect.
And it feels like a whole new meal.
Yeah. Yeah. So remember, there's always lots of things you can do with your leftovers. Don't throw those leftovers out. Maybe I put a little too much red pepper in there
Oh,
for Heather.
I'll try it. I'm gonna try it.
But the avocado tempers the spice.
Yeah, the avocado
does.
will temper the spice. And let's get a little salt, not too much. Maybe 2 little grounds of salt, a little bit of black pepper. Lisa, in that drawer right underneath there, there's some forks and spoons. Why don't we give this a little taste and see how this is coming along?
You go on fork or spoon. What you want?
I'll go with a spoon.
You want a spoon? Like I'm see how this is my big taste. See? Oh, good.
What do you think?
Mhm.
Think we need more of anything?
No, I think it's
No, I
great.
think it's good too.
Mm-hmm.
2 great chefs.
I
Good.
know. Look at that. Not even a.
So we're gonna serve our fajitas with the guacamole.
Mhm.
You could serve it with salsa if you wanted. You can serve it
With Greek yogurt?
Greek yogurt,
Sour cream.
sour cream, anything like that.
Cheese. I'm a cheese person. I'll
Yeah,
admit
I don't
it.
normally do cheese on fajitas. It's
It's-
one of the Mexican dishes that I just
That you don't.
Yeah, that I just don't do cheese with.
And Jason says, Chef Gary and Lisa, the dynamic duo of cooking. You guys are awesome.
Thank
Yes!
you,
We're
Jason.
getting good ratings.
Yes!
on the cooking.
Thank you, Jason. So so this is great.
It's good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm ready. I'm ready to just dig in.
Yeah, we have our dinner table set up over there, and we're gonna be ready to go. How much time do we have left? 7 minutes. I
And
got-
we're fast too.
You
because
know
look
what?
at this.
I want to take a look at those and see what they look
It's-
like.
You're gonna
Okay.
Let's take a quick little peek. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
You can
Yeah,
smell.
you
These
can
are
smell
these
them.
are spicy. These are strong and spicy.
You can.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah. But you'll have a little sour cream on them, and they'll be
Okay,
good.
They'll be just fine.
They'll be good. So, tell us a little bit about what you guys do at Healthy West Orange.
So, if you haven't heard of Healthy West Orange, we are a movement to create the healthiest community in the nation. But what's really important to us is that you are really empowered to make your own choices. We think that small choices make healthy living. So we help you eat well, stay active, enjoy life. It's really about kind of finding what works for you. We don't really talk about diets. We don't really talk about this is an exercise regimen you must do. We really focus on this is just how to eat better, have more vegetables, how to just have balance in your life. Everybody needs a piece of chocolate cake. Like there's nothing that says that there's something bad about certain foods or good inherently that, oh, this is good and this is bad. It's about the balance and finding the balance that works for you. We are all about being active and exercising. And actually, Heather, get over here because we were just in Winter Garden making fools of ourselves in the splash pad because we are getting ready for what this June?
We are getting ready for Wesley's Splash Challenge this summer. And that starts on June 20th to July 5th. And the details and registration will be live on June 1st. So once June hits, school's ending, we've got a great activity for you and your family to do while you're on summer break. So we encourage the community to get active in the water for 30 minutes as
All you have to do.
a fun workout. And that could be swimming, but it could be more than swimming. It could be kayaking. It could be watering your garden. That gets you up and active. It could be even washing the car. So your chores work as workouts in our book. And when you sign up for Wesley Splash Challenge, it's for all ages. You'll receive a splash packet with a bunch of fun goodies to help you have fun in the water. And then you're also entered in to win grand prize, which is 4 tickets to Universal Volcano Bay.
Wow.
Nice.
So we are
And
super
you guys
excited.
do the Splash Challenge with us at the Y.
Yeah.
You do a lot of
Yeah.
activities
Stay
with us at the
tuned.
Y.
So we're gonna give. I'm not gonna spoil anything.
Don't be.
But I am just gonna say that in June we have a couple of really special videos. We're going out to the Y to record
Awesome.
some really
Yeah.
awesome, fun water content for Splash. Because for us, it's like how can you have a good time and then turn that into the lifestyle that makes you healthy?
Right.
Right? It's like that's what'll keep you feeling good. Eating well is all about same thing. It's loving what you eat, finding the things that make you love.
And not only can you find our recipes on the Y website, but you can find our recipes on Healthy West Orange website as well. So we share our recipe page with you guys, and
we feature a lot of recipes for the different holidays, perfect for a lot of family barbecue ideas.
Yeah.
We were grilling last year, so
Right.
definitely grilling vegetables, something you wouldn't expect. So that was a lot of fun. I learned a lot during that.
have you grilled any vegetables since we grilled together?
You know what? This summer I want to grill corn. And I know we didn't do corn on the cob, so I want to try that. I did not know that you could grill a tomato.
Yes.
We grilled tomatoes, so that was something that
Grilled avocado.
You can grill an avocado.
You can?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
mind blown.
And I am excited to try the grilled romaine. I keep having it at places where you do just a little bit of vinegar and oil sliced, and you just put the entire half of the romaine.
You gotta make sure with the romaine that it's kind of off on the hot side of the stove, but not over
Like direct flame.
the direct flames, because otherwise you're gonna have a flare up and it's gonna be all burnt and everything. So so be careful with that. But we love working with Healthy West Orange, and this is a great partnership that we've had for many, many years. And it's great to have you guys in my kitchen here cooking with me.
We have a lot of fun.
This is what we're about. I mean, that's the best part for us with Healthy West Orange is that we just get to be with people doing what we love and hoping that it helps people be happier, healthier.
We all have a favorite Healthy West Orange event. So Lisa's thing is cooking. My thing is Dance Challenge, which just wrapped up last month in April. We had a lot of fun. Our team member Jason is a runner and an Ironman, so he loves our 5Ks. Comment below if you've done one of our 5Ks. And I know we have some avid participants that have done it every single year. So comment how many medals you have from our 5Ks. We want to see the tally.
Yes. And that's Healthy West Orange in a nutshell.
That's great. You guys are great community partners, and you guys really do a great job getting the community together.
Well, we feel like our missions just align so much with what the Y does too, and how the Y supports. And that's been one of the best things is the partnership across the board, because your folks are teaching exercise along with us because we are never the experts.
That's why we have the experts.
That's why we bring in the experts. And so we are what we are because we've got great community members and great community partners.
And we have Chris. Who is that? Chris Demetrio saying awesome.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris. We all know Chris.
We all know Chris. So what else is?
I think we have a minute and 59 seconds left on that.
Yeah.
Should we get the tortillas and maybe we can plate this up a little bit when it comes out, just so people can see what it's going to look like?
And then do you want to give tips on heating up tortillas?
Yeah, we can. Let's talk about that.
Let's talk
So
tortillas.
let's talk tortillas.
Tortilla talk.
So we have two different types of tortillas here. I like the corn tortilla, the flour tortillas. You like the corn.
I like the corn.
My wife likes the corn. Heather, what do you like?
I don't really know. I guess I'll have to pay
Corn,
attention more
corn,
to which one I'm using.
So I am a flour tortilla guy. I just like it because it's softer, and I find the corn tortillas sometimes fall apart when
They can. I agree with that.
So- And we just bought. Of course, we didn't make them. We just bought these.
You don't have to make them, but if you want to, it's fun.
But if you want to, it's perfectly fine and fun. The way I like to do these is just a little wet paper towel, heat them up in the microwave for a little bit, and kind of just keep them warm.
Yep. I might, if I were doing a sheet pan, the last 5 minutes, just wrap them in foil and throw them underneath the sheet pan.
Yeah.
And let them heat for the last couple minutes at the same time.
Yeah.
And then they get just kind of that warm pliability is nice. And I've seen, although I don't have a gas stove, and I don't think anybody really does gas a lot in Florida.
No, around here we don't have a lot of gas.
But up north, lots of people they'll flip it on which seems scary to me, but it works for folks.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll just take a non-stick saute pan and just kind of flip it in the pan and then warm it up in the pan. So there are lots of things you can do to make it nice. Should we take a look? We got 16
seconds. You can see the steam coming out of here.
Are you going to tempt this or you think you'll be able to tell us?
I think we'll be able to tell if that chicken is cooked, and it looks like it is.
It does, yeah. You grab a fork and let it do a little.
Yeah,
Don't
might
try
need
this
another
part.
minute, another couple of
Don't try
minutes,
this
but
at home.
we are gonna take this out just so everybody can see what it looks like.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, so,
What's this one?
the
Oh,
one-
timer.
Yeah.
The one that says timer
The one that
would
says
be what
timer.
you did.
We're gonna take this out since we're kind of running out of time here. So I want everybody to see this. Let's
Woo.
close.
Ooh,
the-
now that.
Oh, wait.
Let me get the.
Yeah. Let's just move these and
Look at that.
Look at that. We're gonna put these back in because I think that chicken.
Yeah, when you
needs
touched
just
it, it looked a little
couple
bit
more
soft.
minutes. If you don't have a meat thermometer, go ahead and buy a meat thermometer. They're not expensive and they're really helpful. But you want your chicken to be at 165. So
Ooh, 172.
172. So you know that it's
It's
done.
all good.
It's done.
And my favorite about anything, look at all the like browned, gorgeous little
Yeah,
blackened tips and bits.
Yep.
The
We got the
That's-
Crispies.
mm.
And those vegetables, like I said, if you wanted to, you could put the
Mhm.
vegetables in first for a little bit, but you don't really have to. And this is all steamy and nice. And I would just take, some tongs and put some on here, maybe a little bit of guacamole. So let's,
Yes.
Oh, the storm
Oh, the
The storm
arrived.
is coming.
Angelica, the storm is here.
It
Good
got
thing
us.
we're done.
So I got a little bit of guac on this, and
Mhm.
let's take some
Onions.
pepper and onion. This is going to be hot.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yes, please don't.
Oh, cool.
And
Do you want a little plate?
yeah, I have some
Oh,
plates
here.
over there. Yeah. So
Be careful,
I think should we give this to Heather to try?
It's too hot for me.
It's too hot. Do you
Oh,
want to try it?
Spicy and
You want me to eat
temperature.
on camera? Okay,
I'll
look.
eat on
You'll
camera.
do it.
I'll
Okay.
eat on camera.
Because you saw the way
Okay.
I ate my
Thi-
avocado.
Blow
My
on it first. Blow on it first. There
Yeah.
we go. Safety.
Okay, here we go.
safety first. Yay.
And he takes a huge bite.
See, that's the thing. That would be me.
Dedication.
Is it as delicious as we think it is? Yeah. Yes.
Cook this for your friends and family.
Mhm.
Great family meal. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks to Healthy West Orange for being here. Thanks for everybody who was on Facebook Live
Facebook
tonight.
Live. Thanks to the Y for having us because
Yeah.
we loved being here.
And we are going to enjoy some dinner
Mhm.
and hope you enjoy dinner with your family as well. Remember, visit our website, ymcacf.org, for more recipe ideas. This recipe is right on the website as well. And have a great night, and we'll see you next month in June. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Let's dig in.